All I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Do you understand?
G'day guys, Chaos Chronicles. All right, so we're going to do a video today on bronzing up. And so what is bronzing up? Well, I'm about to tell you guys, but word of advice, this video is about to get very disgusting and might make a lot of people sick in the actions I took to stop getting hurt. All right, so for a bit of context, I was just being arrested for assault police. So it wasn't even really assault police. The dude had his pepper spray out. I went smack, tapped it out of his hand, said, "Now what are you going to do?" Well, what he did was he went and called for help, and yeah, 6 of his goons come and got me, and yeah, I started to get my head punched in right then and there on the spot. Um, so yeah, they were kicking into me and whatnot. So I was fighting back, and so keep in mind, there's dead set like 5 or 6 police officers here, and I am fighting for my life. Basically, they're hurting me. They were kicking me while I was on the ground. I got up and just started swinging. Anyway, I fought the law, and the law won. And anyway, so they ended up getting me, putting my handcuffs behind my back, and they actually ended up putting 2 pairs of handcuffs on my ankles and handcuffed my ankles. Yeah, threw me in the back of the divvy. They were punching my head in while I was in the divvy van, and yeah, it was pretty bad. And so anyway, I'm hurling abuse at them. I'm spitting. I'm everything. I'm like, fuck you guys. And so they were basically punching my head in. And so I was actually in another town. So it was actually like a one horse cop town. There's only one cop per that town. That was closed, and that's why the next town was where I lived. That's why the local coppers came, and that's anyway. So they take me back to my local cop shop, and yeah. So as soon as the door opens, I just spring. I've got my hands and my feet handcuffed, but my hands are behind my back. But as soon as I jump out, I just jump out with the biggest headbutt straight into one of them, and yeah, it was on again. And yeah, so they basically got me, and what they did was they actually hogtied me. So they got another pair of handcuffs and handcuffed my feet and my ankles together behind my back. So I was literally hogtied with handcuffs, and yeah, then they proceeded to kick the living suitcase out of me, and yeah, so it was pretty bad. And so what they did was, obviously, I was fighting and biting, but yeah, you got to remember, I am hogtied, but I'm hurling abuse. I am really, really giving them my all with my mouth, and yeah, they're kicking the shit out of me. And to be honest, I was in and out of consciousness, and yeah, I just wanted to let them know that I wasn't scared of them. And yeah, basically, what they did was they just 1, 2, 3'd me into the police cells. My head hit one of the beds, and well, the only bed in that cell actually. And yeah, I was knocked out. And yeah, so I come to, and I am still hogtied like that. And yeah, so obviously I start hurling abuse again, and yeah, so they'd come in again, give me a slap around again, and this proceeded to go on for over 2 hours probably. And then I calmed down, and they actually came in and took the handcuffs, like they unhogtied me. And so I was literally there with just handcuffs on my hands, and yeah, it was on for young and old again. I just didn't care. I was like, you guys were kicking the living shit out of me when I was tied up, so it's game on now. And yeah, so basically they got the better of me again, locked the door, and I thought they were going to come in and hogtie me again, but they didn't. And yeah, so the door comes cracking again. They come in again, and you got to remember, I was in here for assault police, and they've come in again to give me another kick in. And yeah, I just can't beat this many people. I am not Superman. They go out again, lock the doors. Now you got to realize I've already been getting a kick in for hours as it is, you know. So they came back in once more. I fought for my life, and yeah, couldn't do anything. And like also at this time, I am absolutely stark naked. I forgot to say that they took all my clothes off, and I was absolutely stark naked. So I had my clothes on when I was hogtied. When they took the hog ties off me, they took um, my clothes off. And so, anyway, I was just over getting my head punched in over hours and hours and hours. It felt like it was never going to stop. They told me it was never going to stop. And so basically, I did the unthinkable. I defecated on the floor, and I proceeded to stomp that into the ground and turn that into war paint. And I then put that war paint on and covered myself in the war paint. And so next time they came in, and I also had so from the time they took the hog ties off me, I covered up the cameras, and they said, "We don't care. You covered the cameras. We're kicking the shit out of you, you know." And so anyway, the war paint is on, and yeah, they come running in. They see that I'm covered in shit, and they just turn around and run. And so I'm running for them, and bang, I slip over at the door while they're trying to close me into the door. I'm absolutely covered in my war paint, and yeah, that's basically how the beating stopped. So they're calling at me through the intercom, and they're saying, you know, if we give you a shower, will you stop? Rah rah rah. And I'm like, if you stop beating me, I will wash this wall paint off. And so anyway, you know, they came in. I showed that I wasn't going to be aggressive. You got to remember, I'm covered in war paint. It's a very stinky affair, and yeah, I washed that off. But yeah, there's a small story on what is bronzing up. So what bronzing up is when you cover yourself in your own defecation, and you do whatever. But that is what bronzing up is, when you cover yourself in your defecation. And for me, it was war paint, and it was game on. It was absolutely disgusting, but it stopped my beatings. And so in my books, it worked. And I actually got a charge, and I'll never forget it. It was acting prejudicial to the good order and management of the police jail. That was my charge for bronzing up. All right, guys, Chaos Chronicles, guys. If you guys don't want to ever put yourself in a position where you might have to bronze up, don't don't do crime, don't go to jail, and you'll never have to do this bullshit. All right, guys, Chaos Chronicles, we are out. Ciao.
I am also the guy who decides if you and your friends walk out of here or not.